rolling.
Okay. I'm punching out. I'm off the clock.
All right. Well, welcome back to Off the Clock. I am Alex.
I'm Cory.
Yeah. We have a video component for the first time. So
We do.
if you're watching this on video, you get to see our beautiful, beautiful faces.
It's true. And my awful posture. I just realized that's probably going to be...
Yeah, I know. Hey, you get to watch this back and you get to be like, oh, I really have to start, straightening my spine, dodging the scoliosis.
No, it really is true. I need one of those back braces that makes you sit up straight.
Yeah, but so we got a fun little episode today where we're talking about things and stuff. Last GBM was, for you guys it would have been last Tuesday. For us it was like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Last GBM we had a few awesome guests on doing a career panel. Cory can explain who these guests were.
Yeah, that's true. We had Rick Rollins, who had his own TV show previously on, you said Fox 13?
Yeah.
That's crazy. We had Debbie Landberg, who is a mindset coach. We also had Morgan Bars, who is like the creator of Wing Woman Brands, which I had never heard of before this.
She also used to go here. Like, she was literally introduced to me by Dr. Jarrett by like, hey, she was my student a couple years ago, and then we invited her back, and she like started her own company.
Wow.
So,
they're awesome.
They're success stories. They're out there. It's great.
Yeah. On the topic of other AMA stuff, I think the next event, if it's going out when it's supposed to, should be the AMA 101, which is I have here. It says it's a game night. There's an info session. It's Q&A for like basically the entire AMA. Like the first thing that came to my mind was cast.
I mean, we are like a cast of characters.
They are characters.
Yeah.
There's a Q&A session and there's snacks. And I believe it's September 12th from 5 to 6 in MSC room 2703. So if you're out there and you want to get into AMA,
show up to our events.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go to our things. We give you things. We give you things and we give you snacks and we give you experience and we help you learn about life.
That's true. And it's the experience and the lifelong lessons and lifelong friends that you're going to make at AMA is like almost as good as the snacks that they give you. It's pretty close.
The real degree is the friends we made along the way.
Something. I've been telling myself that for a while.
Honestly, like, okay, so a little update from last episode of the podcast. You remember at the end of last podcast when I said, knock on wood, I don't have to talk to the advisors again?
Yeah.
Well, I've done it. I've talked to the advisors again.
We cursed him.
Yeah. It's why you're never supposed to knock on the wood, honestly. But legitimately, and I'm not just saying this to say this, it was the best advising experience I've had in my entire time at USF.
Shout out the advisor.
Straight up. Yeah, shout out to Shauna Thomas. She's business advisor. Very good at her job, because what I did was I wanted to put off my graduation. I was set to graduate this fall, and I got to put back to the spring. I just went to her and I was like, hey, I want to graduate in the spring.
I don't want to do this yet.
I don't want to do this yet. I'm not ready to be a big boy in the real world.
Meme, please don't make me get a job.
Exactly. And she was like, okay. And then just typed in a little keyboard for a little bit. And she was like, okay, you can add this concentration. You can drop this class. And I was like, oh my God, I'm saved.
Yep.
So I'm 1 credit lighter, 1 more semester on my schedule.
1 credit lighter, 1 semester heavier.
Yeah. Which honestly, like, graduating in the spring is nice because I get like an extra, semester with AMA, and I don't have to finesse my job now, which is awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna be sticking around for a little bit longer.
Yippee.
Which is good. It's cool.
Yeah, the bunch of jobs that I applied to, I think I applied to like 14, 15 jobs. And I got an email back. The email was saying, give us a time and we can do your interview. I responded to the email since last podcast, and they haven't responded back yet.
Well,
so they love to dangle the carrot in front of me. So, but hopefully they will respond.
Hopefully. How long ago did you send this email?
I sent this email on Tuesday.
It's Friday. You'll be fine.
Dude, like, come on, like, surely.
Dude, it's such like a rat race in terms of getting jobs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put myself in a situation. This is like one of the reasons why This is like one of the reasons why I extended a semester. I don't trust that I'm going to be able to get a job unless I literally know someone who's like, hey, do you want to work for me?
Yeah. Rodell, friend of the show, Rodell.
Friend of the pod. Shout out.
Friend of the pod, Rodell, who is my roommate, for those uninitiated. His older brother graduated from USF and got a marketing degree and works in marketing.
Oh, wow.
And he said that he would put a good word in at his agency.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna say anything, but we may just have our in.
You might be in. You might be hooked up. The girl I'm seeing right now, both of her parents work in marketing, which is kind of cool. I don't know. There's opportunities all over the place,
Yeah.
you know? You just got to make contacts. Or you make contacts, and then contacts. Your network is your net worth.
Wow. There we go. That's a bar.
It's a bar. It's a bar. What is it? I stole that from, what? Ludwig or Northern Line or something?
100%.
Yeah. Dude, Northern Line clips is so funny.
I love him, man. Anyone listening out there, go ahead and check out Northern Line. It's a shameless plug, but I have been watching him for like 12 years now.
He's basically your second father.
Yeah, no. That checks out for sure. And anything else on AMA? Let's see. We have if the AMA 101 is on September 12th, we have September 10th the GBM. That GBM, the guest speaker is Sabrina Henley.
Yes.
And she'll be talking about building your brand. I asked Alex before the podcast if it's like a personal brand or if it's like helping a business build a brand, but we don't really have an answer.
The fact that it says building your brand makes me assume that it's going to be a personal brand thing. Because like it's also the focus of all their stuff is mainly like professional development. It's like probably going to be in the vein of like, hey, you want to get hired. How can you build your brand to make it so that you look trustworthy and like you look like you're a good person to be able to work for like companies officially.
Okay.
Well,
I'm actually really interested in that because I need to use the resources that USF gives you, like the Bellini Center. I also have to get like professional headshots done.
Yep, which we can do here.
LinkedIn and my Indeed. Yeah.
Shout out to Bulls Media. We're sitting in the Bulls Media podcast studio now.
Yeah, those that are watching the video segment can see the beautiful setup that we have in Bulls Media. It is actually like it is ridiculously nice.
Yeah, I was like assuming because it's kind of dark in here for us, but like
on camera it looks pretty good.
I'm hoping that it looks good on camera. If not, then I'll make it look good in post. But yeah, it's really nice in here. And this isn't even our full setup. We're supposed to have, I got given last year, if anybody listening listened to the podcast with our old hosts, Emma and Eric, you know.
Shout out Emma and Eric.
Shout out to Emma and Eric. They're such
God rest their soul.
God rest their souls as they're suffering in the corporate landscape, although not suffering as much as they would have been because, you know, they joined AMA, so now they have industry contacts and things.
That's good.
Gotta always plug the brand. Build my personal brand. But they had a flag for AMA, like a literal custom off the clock flag.
That's awesome.
Yeah, although hanging it up in here was kind of a pain. What they used to do is they used to sit over like where you are, like both of them over here. The tripod would have been like to my left.
Just put it up there.
Yeah, and they would tape it to like all the audio proofing stuff that they would have in this space, and it would just always fall off like twice or three times throughout the episode because
that's awesome.
The tape just wouldn't hold. So we're toying around with the setup. We might be sitting here this episode. We could be sitting somewhere else next episode if we want to do that.
Yeah.
Or we could just have the flag over there.
Yeah, this whole setup is subject to change. We are like labbing it out in real time.
Exactly. And also we're missing our little audio engineer.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sam.
Yeah, shout out to Sam.
Sam is going to be helping us with recording stuff as we're doing it. His phone exploded apparently.
Yeah. And much like the electric scooters that are everywhere on campus.
Oh, good call out.
Dude, okay, sorry for the tangent, but like these electric scooters it's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like them. I don't like the people that ride them either.
Yeah,
they make me mad.
I think a little bit lesser of every person who drives around an electric scooter. Not just because it's like you look like a dork.
Yeah. There's no way to ride them and not look like a dork.
Exactly, but it is. So this is my second job is podcasting here. My first job, my primary job is being an RA. I'm RAing in COSO.
Sorry, this is your third job. Your second job is being an RA. Your first job is being a mom.
So true. I'm the mother who stepped up.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, continue.
Yeah, they did not come from my womb, but you know, it's anyways, so we as RAs are supposed to be like the first line of defense against electric scooters. I wish I was joking.
Yeah.
They showed us during our training, because we have 2 weeks of training, and one of the segments was we were meeting with the fire department here, like at USF, and they showed us videos of the lithium-ion batteries inside the electric scooters exploding and killing people.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
They just showed people dying in elevators because it's like they got
terrible.
Yeah. But the lithium-ion batteries, like we're dealing with Florida heat.
Yeah.
It's friggin', if it's not raining and drowning us, we're sitting here with like 90, 95 degree temperatures. we're still in like, we're in September. It's not supposed to be this hot.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god, it's been so hot all week. It's
Yeah.
been raining all week.
Yeah, it's either raining like Moses is coming to Red Sea us,
Sure.
or I'm mixing my metaphors, my analogies.
Yeah, it's okay.
Or it's like, it feels like we're in like the middle of Arizona, straight up.
No, I have been taking the bus to class because now that I live off campus, for those who watched the episode, the first episode, Alex and I do not live together on campus anymore.
It's so sad.
Yeah, but I live off
I miss
campus
him every
now,
day.
and I do not have a car. So the original idea was to get a bike, but then I took too long getting there. So now I've been taking the bus, and the bus for the most part has been fine.
Okay.
But the just USF doing USF things.
Yeah.
I tried to figure out what time the bus is gonna be there. So I opened the app I opened the My USF app and then go to the tracker for the Bull Runner, which is the bus, and it says that the bus will be here in 4 minutes, and I sit there for the next 45 minutes, and there's no bus, and I'm like, something must be up. And so then I reload the app, and when I reload the app just doesn't work anymore. So now I have no idea when the bus is coming. So I wait for another 10 minutes. By this point, I am late to class, which is awesome. And I call the Bull Runner line.
The helpline?
I had to go on the website, find the transportation thing, and then find the specific one for Bull Runner. Called that, and then I'm getting kind of mad on the phone with the lady, and I'm said 4 minutes, it's been 45. Who really knows?
I mean, if I was sitting outside underneath the bus stop for 45 minutes,
no, by the way, no shade. There's no it's not. I'm not sitting under anything. Yeah, I'm standing.
Jesus. Yeah, no.
I am standing outside in the heat for what seems to be I think closer to an hour. And the lady's like, "Oh, it should be turning the corner any minute now." And I was like, "Oh, any minute now." Oh, thank you. And I asked, and I was like, "So what's going on with the app?" They're like, "Yeah, it's been crashing all day." Like, oh, okay, yeah. And also, why is there only one bus on my route when there's supposed to be two? She's like, couldn't tell you. Like, you work there, so.
Who could tell you? If
yeah,
not her?
I'd love to know.
Like,
please. But other than that one specific day, the Bull Runner has been treating me relatively well.
Okay, well that's good. It was just kind of tripping out that day. I feel like all of the USF system infrastructure is just falling apart at the seams.
It is being held up by one. It's got to be one guy in IT that they just they just go to for everything. I pray for that guy, seriously.
Yeah.
That job must be.
He needs a raise.
Yeah, that job must be stressful. Also, apparently they're getting rid of Oasis.
Yeah.
Listen, Oasis is awful. Anyone that goes to the school will tell you how terrible.
It's not that bad. It's very straightforward. It's just kind of slow. The main thing I have a problem with Oasis is when I'm signing in for classes and how I have to go in and out of the menu 15 billion times to search for my stuff. But it could be a worse system. It's pretty straightforward. It doesn't do the thing that a lot of modern UIs do, where it's overly complicated and it has to load a billion different logos because it's literally just text on a page.
Yeah, it is an HTML website.
Exactly, yeah.
But the user interface and the user experience on Oasis is way less desirable for we pay to go here. It should be a little newer. So I'm glad that they're updating it. What they're gonna change it to, I am excited but also kind of scared for.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, very true. So hopefully they just do it when I'm gone. At this point I'm ready to just go, because I feel like them implementing a new Oasis is going to be the final straw that collapses all of USF's infrastructure.
God forbid they start swapping out Oasis with the new website around when you have to sign up for your spring classes.
Oh, of course they're gonna do that, dude.
God forbid, dude, because it's the process of getting classes in the first place is already kind of a lottery, because you either get the good time that you signed up for, or you get the not good time.
Yeah. Also, I'm not sure how registration dates are distributed to different students.
I'm pretty sure
I've heard a ton of different ways.
Yeah, it's maybe if you shake your phone 3 times and then you blow into a little genie lamp, then it's gonna be working one way.
Yeah, because I always get the latest registration date. I get the one that's 2 weeks after everyone else.
Jesus. My understanding is it's honors people first, and then seniors, and then it's going down by class schedule because like they want the seniors to graduate. If the seniors don't get their capstone classes or they don't get their whatever classes,
Dude, that's gonna be so awesome. My registration date theoretically is gonna be so much earlier than normal.
Yeah, I know. Like for the past couple years, I've had like around like Halloween or like November 1st, usually for my registration stuff. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, last year mine was November 13th.
Jeez, that's nuts.
Yeah.
But hey, you still ended up with good professors.
I did end up with good professors.
Because you had Big Dog hooking you up with all the connects.
Yeah, Alex being a semester ahead of me is extremely helpful.
It's really funny because it's like I sort of do the trial run on every professor, and I'm like, okay, this guy's good, this guy sucks, this girl is great, this lady's awesome, and then you just get it all through the pipeline. You don't have to do research for yourself.
Of course. It's I stand on the shoulders of giants, of course.
Real. So real. We don't have an official topic for this episode, but I have an idea.
Oh, please.
So I've been taking this professional selling class, which is one of the last classes that I have before I graduate. It is Marketing 3400. I'm taking it with Dr. J. Dr. J is a great professor who did some work, like he was helping companies, I think, get better at sales before he was helping us get better at sales.
When you said Dr. J, I assumed it was Dr. Jarrett, and I was like, you're just calling him Dr. J now? You're just calling him Dr. J? Oh, you just know her like that?
Yeah, nah. There's many different J's. I actually was talking about the basketball player.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Shout out to Dr. J. Hey, he inspired millions. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, greatest ball player of all time, Derek White.
Derek White is... Okay, we don't have to do this.
He's the greatest ball player of all time.
No, please continue your story about professional
selling. We should talk about business.
Before I reach over the table.
The Celtics are going to get 3 people, but I digress. Anyways, so he was putting us on to this thing he made custom for his class. He wrote this himself. He wrote the textbook for his class himself. Doesn't see a dime of it because that's how academia works. But
it's kind of hard, though.
Yeah. But he made these rapport matrices because... I'm sure everyone listening, I'm sure you, Cory, have heard like, oh, when you meet someone new who you haven't met before, just like build rapport with them. Yeah. And then no one really explains like what that means.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you build rapport? Oh, well,
yeah, you just have to be like a charismatic person.
Yeah.
Like somebody that other people enjoy talking to, which is hard.
Yeah.
That's work.
Yeah. But also it's like you'll say that and people will say that, but people who either aren't charismatic or feel like they're going about it wrong or like want to be very specific about like, okay, well, what do I do to do this? A billion different resources I've looked at, a billion different resources that Dr. J's looked at. It's just like, there's nothing online. So he came up with literally a big table full of questions, and he's basically mapped out how to have successful conversations with every business person ever for the rest of your life.
That's actually really cool.
It's pretty sick. I don't want to get in trouble with the university by giving up the secret little sauce because everyone will have that class. But for the people who don't go here, for the people who don't know, basically it's you do research about the person before you meet them, which is a pretty classic thing that you should do before you
check their LinkedIn.
Yeah, you check their LinkedIn. You check if they have a website. You check their website.
Yep.
If you're talking to someone who's like in our age range, then you can maybe check like their Instagram or their social media pages. But you come up with you have to find where they go. You find things that they're interested in. You ask them 1 or 2 questions to loosen them up about that. You rehearse that. You literally write it down on a piece of paper and rehearse it like a bajillion times until it comes naturally. And then every single conversation that you'll have with someone new, you're just going into it like an expert.
Yeah.
I should have came prepared with an example, but Cory, give me an example of a thing about you.
A thing about me?
A thing about you. A thing you like.
I like to play video games.
Oh, you like to play video games. What type of games have you been playing lately?
Lately I have been playing Rust. A lot of Rust.
I haven't heard of Rust. What type of game is Rust?
Rust is like a sandbox game. So it is like a survival sandbox game. You spawn in and you're naked with a rock on a beach. And you have to build a home, get tools, get weapons, and then you can fight other people.
Nice. I'm willing to bet that you're kind of goated at those fights, huh?
Yeah. I am.
And that's the method. The method is you ask them something about themselves based on the research that you've already done. I wouldn't be asking the question. I'd be like, hey, I noticed that you play a lot of Rust. You enjoying that? You going kind of crazy on that?
You'd ask a specific question.
Yes, a specific question related to their interest. The common
one
example,
that you know.
Yes, the one that you know.
That you've researched.
The common example is, oh, I saw you went to USF.
Yep.
You into the Bulls right now?
Yes.
How's our football team doing? How are we expected to do?
I've been caught. I have no idea. But actually, no. I think our football team is doing actually good.
Oh, nice. Yeah. It's good to have a good team. And then you use that to segue into like other, like if you have to ask them something, basically the format was
Imagine you just get them talking.
Yes. Right? It's the more that you can get them talking about themselves, the more that they're going to like you because people really like talking about themselves.
Yeah.
And also if you ask someone a question, they're going to answer it. So if they don't answer it, then they're just kind of a freak.
Yeah, they're Batman.
Yeah. It doesn't matter who I am.
Yeah, that's confidential information.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to know in this like just giant web of like questions or flowchart, whatever. I want to know how many of these line up with like bank security questions or like account security questions. Oh, hey man, what's your mother's maiden name?
Oh, hey, I saw that you're I saw that you live in Tampa. What street did you live on as a kid?
Yep. I saw that you grew up around here. What was your high school's name?
Yeah. Oh, I saw you have a couple pets on your.
Yeah. What was your first pet's name?
Yeah. What's your first? Yeah. It's actually we're figuring out through the veneer of like academia how to
get people's social security numbers.
Exactly. It's we're doing the Now You See Me.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie?
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's that movie. It was special for me.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one YouTube video I watched that was kind of doing the rounds. It was pushing everyone's like algorithms where it's like, were the people in Now You See Me actual wizards or were they just like fake magicians?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was, I think the thing that they came down to was like, yeah, some of this is like practical and could totally work, but half of it is just like, there's no way that any feasible human could do this. You're just a magician.
Yeah, you have actual magic powers.
Yeah, no, there was a scene where it's like, there's this one guy who, his magician power was like through sublimation or whatever. He makes you think about a certain word and then he reads your mind, which is a real thing that actual magicians do. But like in the movie, he just like points at someone and then they pass out, which is,
yeah, magicians can't do that.
Yeah, are you good with Gandalf, bro?
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god, I love Gandalf.
I've never seen Lord of the Rings.
I have seen both the Hobbit movies, but I like Gandalf. Dude, the pipe that he has is awesome. He smokes this like huge tobacco pipe and then blows like a smoke ghost ship. Like, I'm not joking. Like, yeah, he blows out and the smoke just turns into a ship and then flies
with like
away.
little sailors on it, like made out of smoke.
Yeah, like a big pirate ship. It's so sick.
That's actually kind of cool. If I was a wizard, dude,
infinite aura.
If I was a wizard, I would do so many cool things with magic. I would just I wouldn't walk anywhere. I'd just teleport.
Both of us play D&D.
Yeah.
For people that I'm sure we didn't really have to say that.
Yeah, it's you can tell by the vibe.
Yeah, both of us play D&D, and if you are a small creature, like if you're a halfling or a goblin or whatever, or a gnome, I think, and you take a mage hand as your what is it called? Superfluous magic is the feat that you can take.
Yes, something like that. Yeah,
you get a free mage hand, and the mage hand is exactly what it sounds like. It's just like a big telekinetic hand. It can carry you. So it was
if you're small enough, it can carry you.
Yeah, one of my characters was a gnome mage, and I had a mage hand that would just carry me, so I wouldn't walk anywhere. I would just float everywhere.
That's actually kind of sick.
It was sick,
dude. I don't know why I'm picturing, because you mentioned Gandalf, and I started thinking about X-Men, but it's like imagine Professor X is in he's in that, and then instead of a wheelchair, he just has a little hand carrying him around.
Oh, that would be sick.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I've been seeing.
Can we talk about how Professor X and Magneto are both like
so gay,
unbelievably in love with each other?
Yeah, they. That's what I was about to mention. Is on my Twitter timeline recently. It has been so many people like #cleric, like just looking at like the scenes from X-Men First Class where it's just them. There's a deleted scene where it's they're trying to recruit Zoe Kravitz. Who
is that, like Lenny Kravitz's daughter?
Yes, she.
Okay, wait, really?
Catwoman in the Batman.
Okay.
You haven't seen the Batman?
Which one?
The newest one, the Robert Pattinson one.
No, I haven't seen that
one. Okay. Zoe Kravitz, beautiful woman, by the way. Goes without saying. But they're like trying to recruit her, and they're just sitting back, laid back, because she's like working at a strip club or something. Okay. And they're just laid back, the two of them called up next to each other, Professor X and Magneto, and it's like, hey, I'm a mutant. And Professor X does the thing, and it's like Magneto next to him is like wearing like lingerie.
What the hell?
It's just, It's a silly little bit, but they love each other, man.
Can we talk about how much Okay, I know that I hate Twitter. Sorry. Let me preface this, pod listeners.
You have to say it every time that you mention Twitter that you hate Twitter.
I hate Twitter, but I know people were getting people on Twitter were getting mad, which is not new news.
Oh.
But people on Twitter were getting mad about the Wolverine Deadpool gay baiting or something that was going on. I haven't seen the movie for those uninitiated. I know Alex has.
Okay, so
I default to your position.
Yes, Deadpool and Wolverine. So Deadpool's thing, it's very much his thing in the comics, and they play with it in the movie too, is that he is incredibly into Wolverine.
Okay.
He really, really wants Wolverine.
Okay.
So bad. And I think they play like that in the movie pretty well. He's just flirting with him all the time, and it's like Wolverine yells at him, he's like, "Ooh, my bad." And there was a scene in a Honda Odyssey, which they make jokes in the movie about how the Honda Odyssey is the worst car of all time. But then they just do a scene of them driving through the desert, and it looks just straight up like a car commercial. But there's this fight scene in a Honda Odyssey that ends up with the two of them beaten and battered and bloodied. But it's framed very akin to a sex scene.
Oh.
Very akin to a sex scene.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Which it's honestly kind of cool how they played with the subtext so that they could still do the Disney thing and cut it out in friggin' China or cut it out in another country because cut it out in Saudi Arabia or whatever. But I don't. There's an old tweet that's getting gay baited by the MCU is losing chess to a dog.
That's a good tweet.
Yeah. So it's really nothing new, but I wouldn't even say it was baiting.
If that's what happens in the comics, then I guess it's canon.
Yeah, and also Wolverine is as he's been shown in the movies, is pretty heterosexual.
Yeah. So,
and Deadpool's pretty not heterosexual throughout the movies, and he it's his thing to flirt with everyone. He's been doing it since the first movie that came out.
Yeah.
So it's
okay, so it's just Twitter people being Twitter people.
Yeah, it's just getting mad about everything.
Dude, losing chess to a dog is so funny.
Yeah, I've seen it happen so many times because it's I think the last time it came up was when Loki was coming out, and it's Loki.
That's a show, right? It's not a movie.
The show, yeah.
Okay. I haven't watched it. I don't watch movies or TV really that much.
How much have you seen of the MCU? Because I don't actually remember this.
I have seen, I think, everything up to Infinity War.
Okay.
I won't say everything. I'm not watching Iron Fist, bro. I'm not watching that.
The TV shows don't count. Before Infinity War, the TV shows aren't technically canon.
That's fine. Okay, then up to the end of Infinity War. I'm not watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. either.
Yeah, which...
Tie me to a chair and...
You could... So many nerds would fight you over if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon to the MCU or not.
Really?
Because it's... When they first came up with it was when they were starting to do the Marvel TV division, and it was headed by Ike Perlmutter, who terrible person, by the way.
What's that?
Ike Perlmutter said that they should never make a Black Panther movie because Black people don't sell movies. He didn't want there to be a Black Widow movie because again, not white men don't sell movies according to him. So Marvel just sort of shoved him in television and then fired him when television was doing bad, which is good.
They dumped him.
Yeah. He was basically Kevin Feige before Kevin Feige.
Okay.
Essentially. To my understanding, I might be mixing up some facts, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started as kind of canon. They had a few different MCU integrations. They had some of the side characters from Thor who were making appearances and stuff. And it stars Agent Coulson from Avengers. And it's over the course of it started divulging so much from the MCU timeline where it's very clearly not canon anymore. But there's so many nerds who are no, dude. They do the Inhumans, dude. The Inhumans are so important to Marvel, bro. It's they're the X-Men, but they're cooler. And Daisy, she's Quake, and she's gonna appear in all these other shows, and they're gonna make references to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
All of these are just names.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. It's
I think I represent the ideal Marvel fan, Marvel watcher.
Yeah, the ideal Marvel watchers saw all the Avengers movies, Iron Man, a couple other movies that they like. They like Spider-Man.
I like Spider-Man.
And then they mostly checked out of the MCU after Endgame.
Yeah, no, the Endgame was cool. Everyone was there.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah.
And then, I also watched Black Panther. The first one, I didn't watch the second one, though. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't know. I like Iron Man 3. That's my favorite
Iron Man 3 is
one.
pretty cool.
That's my favorite one when he gets all the suits.
It's like Avengers because he's got all of his suits and it's like
Sort of is like that. Also, Civil War is pretty cool.
Civil War is pretty good. I like that movie.
I loved Ultron. Ultron was so cool.
Age of Ultron is a movie that was hated at the time.
Yeah, I really liked it. I saw it with my stepdad when it came out because I was so excited.
I saw it with my mom.
Yeah, I saw it with my stepdad when it came out because I was so excited, and I watched it and I was like, dude, that might be the best movie ever made. And my stepdad was like, that sucked.
Because that came out in 2015. We were like 12.
Yeah.
Which ideal like superhero watching demographic.
Dude, there was a big robot.
Yeah.
It ticked every box I needed.
Dude, the scene where it's like all of them inside the little like, not the cathedral or it's like a gazebo and it's just like Thor smacking the robots with his hammer.
Yeah.
And they're all taking out all the Ultron bots. And then Quicksilver dies.
Dude, Quicksilver was my favorite character too because I like the characters that are fast. I'm definitely more of a DC fan than I am a Marvel fan.
Yeah. Okay.
Not any media property that is video because DC just physically cannot make good movies.
The cartoons are good.
The cartoons are incredible.
They're really good.
The comics are incredible. Also, Batman is the coolest guy on planet Earth.
For sure. Yeah.
But the Flash is like my favorite DC superhero. I don't know. I feel like I have not a three-way tie, but it's close. My top three are Batman, the Flash, and Green Lantern.
That's pretty real.
Specifically, not Hal Jordan. What's the Black Green Lantern?
Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
I like him. He's the GOAT.
He
really did that.
There's some guy like because right now they're rebooting the DC universe. James Gunn, who directed Suicide Squad, the newest one, and Guardians of the Galaxy, he's rebooting the DC universe. Yeah. He's making Superman Legacy right now, which comes out next year.
Do they have the guy?
They have the Superman. I don't know if you saw.
His name is
I forget his name, but if you saw Twisters, he was like basically the LeFou to like with Beauty and the Beast, he was the LeFou to Anthony Ramos' character. I'm forgetting his name, but he looks good. He looks pretty Superman-y.
Yeah. Is it not the guy that we had previously?
It's not Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill's his name.
It is not Henry Cavill.
That's what I was blanking on.
Yeah,
that's Superman.
He is Superman. It's insane, like the industry meddling that happened at DC, because it's like The Rock talked to Henry Cavill and was like, hey, you can be in Black Adam. We're going to say that you're Superman. You're coming back. And then he got fired like 3 months later because they said they were rebooting everything and not bringing anyone back.
Whoa.
Which is nuts.
Why would they fire Superman?
I don't know. It's none of the studios talk to each other. Warner Brothers is run like a mess. Okay. Dave Zaslav is an idiot. He's the CEO of Warner Brothers. He doesn't know how to make movies. He canceled a bunch of different things. Like there was a Looney Tunes. What is it? The guy who chases after Roadrunner. Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah. There was a Wile E. Coyote versus Acme movie that was supposed to come out that was using like a bunch of like old Looney Tunes animation, which would have been cool because we haven't had one of those. But like cool. The movie was finished and he dumped it for tax write-offs. And now it's never going to see the light of day.
No.
Did the same thing with a Batgirl movie that they were making with Michael Keaton in it as Batman.
Michael Keaton.
Oh, not Michael Caine. Michael Keaton.
I know. I just keep thinking about Michael Caine.
Yeah. Bane is the scariest guy I've ever seen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, they dumped Batgirl?
They did. It's such an incompetent.
Batgirl got dumped.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Widow lady movie was gonna get dumped. You said. Like,
yeah. It's the continuous disrespect towards anything that isn't like a property ran by white men, by like these upper execs who like you can look at Black Panther's box office. That movie made insane amounts of money.
Yeah. It was just kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like the movie was just really cool.
The movie was good. I like Black Panther. But also just like diversity sells. Like you can't really exist in a 2024 marketplace without embracing the fact that like we're a diverse society and there are multiple people.
Yeah. Also, I mean, every property is getting to the point where it doesn't want to innovate anymore. It just sort of wants to like run old bits, run old segments.
Yep.
And just like, beat the dead horse, milk the cow, whatever. And I've seen a lot of superhero movies do a lot of things. Like there's a superhero in New York. Like, I've seen that 50 times.
No, it's every person who makes a superhero movie is trying to recreate what made the first Iron Man movie good. Before that happened, they were trying to recreate what made the first Spider-Man movie good. Yeah. So until we get like, I'm trying to remember if there was a last, or well, now the thing that like DCU, the DCEU, which was the Henry Cavill, the Ben Affleck, all that stuff, they were trying to recreate the MCU and try to build towards Avengers. Basically, the last thing that made money, you're going to get a billion different copies of it until finally they put someone in charge who has like a direct vision for what they want to make.
Yeah. I feel like it's not that hard. The comics are the sort of like show Bible, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you just pick a comic line that you think will sell well or a popular one, like Avengers picked, Thanos and Endgame and the Infinity Stones or whatever. DC has ones that they can pick for sure.
There's a lot of stories that can be adapted instead of like...
You could even adapt some of the animated ones. Young Justice was so good. Justice was so good.
So real. Dude, it's the way that they did Flashpoint in The Flash was... It was so bad. It's the CGI dead people, which they also did in the newest Alien movie, by the way. They have a dead guy who they resurrected with CGI, which is insane.
Does it look bad?
It apparently looks good. But
you didn't see the newest Alien movie?
I didn't see it. I just saw that there was a dead guy that they resurrected with AI, which is crazy. But yeah, basically a lot of studios nowadays are risk averse, especially because like
studios not even just meaning movies, like TV shows, games especially. We don't have to get into that, but
yeah, I think it's also because like they're bleeding $1 billion from streaming, and also it's especially with like I guess movies are in a different spot compared to like games because the gaming industry blew up the most during COVID.
Yeah.
Because it's people sitting inside now, like we're out of COVID and people are going back to their normal lives. So it's like you're coming down from these all-time highs and you have to.
Yeah, well, streaming is up because it was on a downturn since COVID, but now we're seeing like the first bit of uptick. I think it was up like 8 or 9% when I saw in quarter. What quarter are we in? We're in quarter...
quarter 3, I think?
Yeah, so I think it was then it must have been quarter 2 or quarter 1 of 2024.
Okay.
That it's up like 8%. So we're on track to go over COVID numbers, but we were on a downtick for a while. So it makes sense that people, like, if during that time they started making, like, 3-year plans, 5-year plans, like, let's be risk adverse, like, this won't last forever.
Yeah, it's just, like... Streaming, even though like if people are using the platforms a bunch, it's still bleeding money. Like
for most of them, yeah.
Yeah, like look at Disney, especially Disney Star Wars. It's you can go back to the announcement they made in like 2018 or 2019 where they're like, oh, we're gonna have a Squadron Supreme movie, and we're gonna have this, 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 and it's movies that got demoted into shows, shows that got completely shuttered, or it's like they put out The Acolyte, which from what I've heard wasn't even that bad of a show, but so low viewership, and it cost so much money to make per episode. Like they spent, I want to say like $200 million on that 6-episode series.
Oh my god!
And you're not getting that money back.
Yeah.
So it's something's got to give because it's all these studios bleeding money on everything.
Happen?
What's gonna happen?
Disney's breaking the in case of emergency glass, and they're pulling out Toy Story 5.
They're doing that.
Oh.
they are doing that.
Let's go.
They announced that at D23 that they're doing Toy Story 5, where it's the toys have to compete with the ultimate enemy, iPads. This is not a joke.
Are they kind of cooking?
I think it's good because like they showed one piece of concept art, which was like the kid underneath the blanket, the way that you are when you're a kid and you're just sitting on your iPad.
It was my DS, but
yeah. And then you close it, and then it's like bye bye, and then it's like oh no. But it's the toys looking at the kid who's sitting there under the blanket on the iPad, and it's like there's something there. They can make something there, and then also they brought Robert Downey Jr. back to the MCU.
He's gonna be Doctor Doom.
He's gonna be Doctor Doom, dude, which
I don't care what any what any Marvel like loser fan says.
No,
that's so cool.
No,
that's so cool.
Okay,
I love Doctor Doom so much. He's my favorite in the MCU.
I love Doctor Doom. I'm probably gonna be Doctor Doom for Halloween. And Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor. If you've seen Oppenheimer,
I did. It was one of the only things I saw it early. Actually, I went to like an early showing.
Okay,
it's so cool.
Solid. The way that he plays that in Oppenheimer, the dynamic that he has with Cillian Murphy's Oppenheimer, is basically the dynamic that you're supposed to have between a Mr. Fantastic and a Doctor Doom, where he's just like such a hater, and he's very clearly like super smart, but he's such a hater that it blinds him and it just like breaks his brain. The performance that Robert Downey Jr. was giving in that movie is a good Doctor Doom. However, because we live in a society where it's trying to make money off of nostalgia, and because Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man,
he was
notably, I do not have faith in the writing staff at Marvel to not shoot a scene where Spider-Man comes in and he goes, "Mr. Stark?" And then Doctor Doom takes off his mask and goes, "Who's Mr. Stark?" And then it's like,
you think he's going to take the mask off? I don't think he is.
They're paying him like $80 million.
Okay, but when I watched Oppenheimer, I didn't know it was Robert Downey Jr. until like the fourth scene that he was in, because of all like it was in like black and white, and then they fattened his face up and they put him into something else.
Yeah, but that was more of an auteur movie, compared to, it was Christopher Nolan, so it's like more, it was a period piece too, so it's MCU is basically, I'm saying the superhero movies are slop.
Yeah.
And they're mostly vanity projects for most of the actors who get into them. So they're gonna show his face, which is not Doctor Doom. I want to have good expectations because the stuff I saw about Fantastic Four looks good, but I'm so worried that what they're gonna do is they're gonna make it so that Doctor Doom is too preoccupied with Tony Stark related storylines, and he's not going to be the character that he should be, which is like one of the coolest characters in all comics.
Yeah, no, Doctor Doom is so cool. I don't read a lot of comics from like Marvel or DC, but the very few that I have read have all been about like Doctor Doom becoming like basically king of the universe.
Yeah.
Like he's so sick.
At the end of Secret Wars, when he becomes God Doom, God Emperor Doom.
I love Doctor Doom. He's so cool. Or the one in he makes like a multiversal, like basically Avengers to go kill other like superhero groups.
Yes. Okay.
And he gets the Mephisto like super wizard powers.
Oh wow.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to talk about like the new Ultimate Universe Doctor Doom, which is the thing that they're doing in the new Ultimate Universe, because there was the original one that came out in like 2000, and then now they're rebooting it so that they can have like alternate character versions compared to the main 616 universe. But what they're doing is the main bad guy of the Ultimate Universe is the Maker, which is Ultimate Reed Richards basically went evil.
Okay, Reed Richards is
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
from the Fantastic Four.
Stretchy guy.
Yeah, he went evil, and he basically like blew up a bunch of different universes, and he remade his own version of the Ultimate Universe, except no one got their superpowers, and he was the only person with superpowers.
Wow.
Which and the thing that he did in this universe was, because he hates all the other multiversal Reed Richards, he killed all of them he killed all the Fantastic Four except for this new Ultimate Universe's Reed, and he turned that Reed into Doctor Doom.
Whoa.
So it's like, so
Doctor Doom is Reed Richards.
Yes.
That's cool.
It's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
I haven't finished reading the comics because they dropped a new one, which apparently is supposed to be like really good at further villainizing the Maker.
Sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, do you think there's a lot of discourse I've seen about whether or not they're going to have like an MF Doom like esque, not cameo, but like reference in Marvel.
Rob snitches, telling all their business, CNN court to be their own star witness.
I am a huge MF Doom fan for listeners out there.
Great music.
Yeah, rest in peace, the actual GOAT, the boss, the villain. And I want it so bad. It would be really cool. So bad. I need his entrance music to be like something from Mad Villainy, like Figaro, or I want Rat Beef, or I want something from MF Food, like, oh god,
yeah,
it would be so sick.
It would be really
cool.
Or
all caps, like they play the intro to all caps.
They probably just do Doomsday or Rap Snitch Knishes, probably, because those are probably the big ones. Yeah.
But I really like all caps. I think it would lend itself the best. Anyway, it's that would complete me for sure.
Yeah. We need to see.
I don't know. I'm not a doubter. I think they're gonna write it really well for Robert Downey Jr. I think he's gonna play it really well. I think he's gonna be Doctor Doom. I think he's done with Iron Man. I think he's gonna lean fully into Doctor Doom.
I would like to see it. I don't trust the writers.
I love Doctor Doom.
I would love to see it. But we're probably coming close to time, right?
We have to. I feel like we've been past time, and all we've done is talk about superhero movies.
Yeah, I mean,
it is what it is.
You know, we sort of talked about the marketing aspect of these companies, where like we talked about how it's the money greedy stuff because they're losing money on this.
Money vortex.
Yeah, we've been talking about the industry, so it's we can title the episode related to that.
Sure.
But As we're reaching the tail end and we're about to get back on the clock, what are the other events that we have to plug, Cory? As you pull out your little notes app, so we can see what.
We have the Big and Little program.
Yes.
You have to sign up by the end of the day on the 14th. You need to be a paid member of AMA, and you have to be at the GBM on the 17th.
Yeah, that's going to be the week after this one comes, or the week after this one comes out. So context for the Big and Little program. If you're a new AMA member, you were going to get coupled up with a returning member.
Oh, you don't have a choice.
Well, if you sign up for the Big and Little program,
okay.
Then you get paired up with a returning AMA member.
Yeah, that was for me. I was scared.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You don't have to, but you should.
Yeah,
because getting paired up with people is nice. But basically, it's just going to make it easier for you. It's going to be easier for you to get involved in networking and getting involved in the club because you'll have someone guiding you through the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
It worked. It got a lot of really good feedback apparently last year when they did this.
Okay.
So try it out.
Yeah. Same day as that GBM on the 17th, there is a Blaze Pizza fundraiser. It's the one right next to Chipotle, the one that's near the what's it called? The PDQ.
Yes.
Over there.
Like over by 50th, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It is the fundraiser is from 5 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you just get anything, a portion of that goes back to AMA, which is helpful.
Yep. And outside of that, show up to the general body meeting that's tomorrow or today if you're listening to this a day late. I don't know why you would listen to this a day late. And other thing that we want to plug is eventually, I believe, not next week's episode, but the week after that, we are going to be guessing you guys' majors. So we'll be giving you more context on that next episode. But
it's in the works.
Yeah, it's in the works. So I think with that, we're about good, right?
I think with that, it's time to get back on the clock.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week.